Shmyr, great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, mate. Good to see you too. It's been too long.
It has been too long. Look, we're going to talk in a minute about a specific game, a playoff win which it led to. But first of all, how do you look back on your time with the Panthers?
Uh, Probably two of my funnest years of pro hockey. We had a lot of success, a lot of great teammates, great city, great fans. It was I always look back on those 2 years really fondly. I wish I could have had a few more over there, but that's the way things work out.
What was the best thing about Nottingham? You say two of your best years. Why was that?
Well, I feel like, personally, they were fun years for me. I feel like they were successful years. As a team, we were always one of the top teams. We had some, the playoff championship and Challenge Cup championships, things like that. So, and just a group of guys, right? I won't start naming names because I'll forget half of them, but just an awesome group of guys. I think I think any of those guys, if they look back on those teams, are going to have real fond memories. We're a real tight knit group. I think we rarely played in front of empty seats in Nottingham. It was always a great crowd, fun town. I had the opportunity to live right downtown, just a couple blocks away from the rink in my second season, and got to just kind of be engulfed with the whole Nottingham scene all the time, and just really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great guys, a lot of great stories, a lot of great memories.
There certainly were. You make a good point, though, there, Shmyr. You talk about great guys. Is that kind of half the success? You've got to have a good team, haven't you, to win games and to win trophies, but you've got to have a close-knit bond, really, as well.
Yeah. I think Coach Ellis did a great job of that. Finding, we brought some different guys in that didn't fit, and he moved them along and made sure that we had a group that really got along well, and then that tends to result in great results on the ice. Obviously, you've got to have the skill and talent, which we did have, and if the guys can get along and be having fun and get playing well, get on the same page, it turns into a great season.
There's many reasons I wanted to get you back on. Just want to see your face again and catch up with you. But also this famous game, Panthers are in the playoff quarterfinals this weekend, where they'll play the Guildford Flames home and away. But one of my favourite memories was this cup tie against Steelers. We're going to watch one of the big bits. I mean, I say one of the big bits. There was so many. But if I tell people who perhaps weren't, I mean, people who were there will remember it so well. But if I say that a Sheffield Steelers player who was not playing, I'm guessing he was injured, came down from the suites to the bench. He wasn't playing, he was watching, and ended up in the photography pit. You'll probably never believe me, but here we go.
Now that is stupid.
I didn't see what was happening because there's someone over there with a stick.
None over
Who's
here.
that? On the Sheffield bench.
Now, Jody, that is stupid by their goalie. That could be him out tomorrow. That is a stupid penalty.
What did Jody Lehman do?
Went after that Reese.
But who the heck is that there abusing Mike Ellis? Is that Regan Darby? Regan Darby's going in the penalty box. Look, stay on Regan Darby.
Now, you don't need that. That's ridiculous. Now, who's that? Who is it?
Danny Myers squaring off with him. Regan Darby's thrown a punch from the photographer's box. Now they're all filing in. Someone's got to get hold of this game now with 4.8 seconds to go.
Who's that? Who's that player there?
I don't know. I'm calling him Regan Darby. I'm assuming it's Regan Darby.
As long as the referee sees that, he shouldn't be allowed. He won't be playing tomorrow. Is he injured?
He has a hernia. He's out of it. Paul Moran pulls him out of the photographer's box and gets him out of it.
Paul's got to get off that bench. He's got to be watch he doesn't get for tomorrow's game.
Well, Shmyr, that was crazy. I mean, looking back on it, can you remember why he came downstairs to get towards the benches?
I don't know. It's interesting, with guys like that. There's, you have seasons and games and opportunities to settle scores when you want to. And I don't recall Regan Darby ever having the nerve to ever challenge anyone on the ice. But as soon as he knows that nobody can fight him off the ice, he's apparently one of the heavyweights of the league there. So it's a weird situation. And then, of course, when he's kind of trying to get at me there on the ice, I mean, the only thing that can happen is I get suspended, right? He's injured and out. So the only thing, if I start throwing punches, I'm going to be out for the rest of the year probably. So
What's funny
what's that?
I was going to say, what's funny is I know Panthers were really worried. I think you were given a match penalty on the night, and I remember they were really worried you'll be banned for the next night, because obviously you engaged with somebody who was not a player. But clearly the league managed to review it, saw there was provocation, and you did play the next night, didn't you?
Yeah, in those situations, I try not to get carried away, because I feel like, obviously what I wanted to do was go over there and grab him, and if he wants to go down that road with him. But the reality is that, yeah, had I done that, I probably would have been done for the season, right? And so, my goal in those situations is to try to not get too carried away. But if it's something he wants to deal with, if he's out for the rest of the season, he wants to deal with it next season, and he thinks that he's some kind of tough guy, then certainly we can do that on the ice. But I think it's just really cowardly to do that from the bench. It puts everybody else in a bad position. It's kind of shocking, a guy like him. Like I say, I don't think he ever once challenged one of our guys on the ice when he had the opportunity. But of course, when he's in a press box, he acts like he's a tough guy. So kind of a frustrating situation, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And as I say, I don't know what brought it. And I think you can tell by, the late Gary Moran, in commentary there, that the stunnedness of the fact that he was, there was a player, and I think everybody in the arena. But that cup tie, didn't it, Shmyr? As I said, he had everything, all the goals, the shootout. I mean, the shootout in Sheffield was something else.
Right. Yeah, the rivalries were great back then, right? The Challenge Cup wins, the playoff wins over them. It was, it feels like we didn't win the league title, but when the games counted, when it came down to one game and we had to beat Sheffield for be it the playoffs or a Challenge Cup, we seemed to, as I recall, we always came out on top, and that was rewarding, because it was a heated rivalry, as you can see through clips like that, or some of the other situations in Sheffield where there's been some craziness.
You high-fived the Sheffield bench once, didn't you?
Yeah, it was scored. Yeah, I think that was the Challenge Cup. I think
it was.
I think it was the go-ahead goal. I think McCaslin assisted, and I had a really nice goal, and I was near their bench when I scored it, and so it seemed right to probably high-five their bench. I thought they'd be happy for me, but it turns out they weren't.
Yeah, I'd still laugh at that. That's on YouTube as well. Should have got that ready too, because that was a magic moment. I mean, the playoff run that year, you went to the final. Rastislav Rovninek never let in a penalty shot. It's a remarkable story, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a great team. We had a good amount of change that season. Like you said, Coach Ellis bringing in some new guys where he thought would maybe help fit in better with the team, or whatever the case may be. And we were, when it came down to big games and we needed to win a game, we rarely failed in those 2 years, as I recall. We were good at getting up for big games, and whoever we were playing, we tended to come out on top. And again, to me, that's a sign of a good championship level team. It's hard to maintain it over 60, 70 games, whatever it is, throughout the season. You're going to have injuries and things that cause challenges that had us not win the league title. But every time it came up to a big game, be it the playoffs or the Challenge Cup, like I say, we won those games. And I think that's just really indicative of the type of guys we had there, and the type of team we had, and the way that when it was all on the line, we came out on top. And that was something I was proud of with that team.
And obviously, it was the start, really, of the golden period for the Panthers. Mike Ellis won 2 trophies in 2 years there, as you mentioned, the playoffs and the Challenge Cup. And then, obviously, Corey Nielsen, who was a teammate of yours, took over and created a dynasty for a while. Do you feel quite proud that you were there in those early stages?
Yeah, you could kind of see it building, right? And I think Corey did a great job of building off what we'd started and maintaining that level that we had, and then it makes recruiting easy, right? When you've got a good base of guys, and you've got some guys you want to bring in, when they can join kind of a winning attitude and a great group who everyone speaks positively about the dressing room, and the coaching and the city and the rink and the fans and everything like that, it makes it easy to recruit and build a winner like that. And I thought Mike Ellis did a great job starting it and bringing in a group of good winners and a group of good guys. And then, yeah, like you say, Nielsen did a great job of building off that, bringing in more skill, more guys, and carrying it on for 5, 6, 8 years, whatever it was. I mean, it was awesome to watch, a lot of fun to see, and yeah, I'm definitely proud to be a part of that.
And just to want to, before we finish, I want to talk a few questions about you, because it was a privilege, mate, to watch you play. The way you worked in games, the way you enforced situations. It was fantastic to watch. I just wonder, when you started your hockey career, did you always think you'd be in that enforcer role? Was that something that you thought, hey, this is somewhere where I'll excel, or did it come by accident? I'm just interested to know.
Yeah, it kind of comes by accident. I mean, like fighting isn't a lot of fun. It adds a lot of stress to the game, and to be honest, it's easier and probably more fun to just skate around and try to score goals. But being a bigger guy and I did take a lot of pride in trying to protect my teammates and having them feel like if things get rough out there, that I'll take care of it for them. I took a lot of pride in that, and I to that end enjoyed the job. I feel like a lot of my teammates and friends appreciated what I did for them, and that gave you a sense of pride that you were contributing to the team, right? I was hopeful that I allowed the skill guys to be able to play without concern of the other team's tough guy or going into a tough barn and feeling like you were going to be physically outmatched. I wanted to try to level the playing field there and be sure that guys on my team felt confident that, whatever happens out here, I'll take care of it. And it was one thing they didn't have to worry about. So it's something that, as a kid, I didn't dream about growing up and doing that at all. That was not something that was in my part of my game plan. But, as I got older, it became something that I thought myself decent at and took pride in kind of protecting my teammates.
So, Shmyrsy, we talked about it. While you've been chatting, I've managed to find it. The high five. Let's take a look at this.
Big hit. Two men committing hard. McCaslin was one of them. Dejanay was the other. Nothing gas, nothing given. One timer from Shmyr, who scores! Ryan Shmyr rips one past the glove of Davy Lawrence. And the Steelers thought they were back in it, but only for a matter of seconds, as Ryan Shmyr hammers one to the top shelf. It's the Panthers that now lead by 5-3.
The Nottingham Panthers doing a good job cycling the puck, and again, comes in off of one-timers, and you can't help but think that that's part of the game plan, is to let these one-timers go on Lawrence. And now tempers are fraying along the benches. But again, great pass by McCaslin, feeds it up to Shmyr, who lets a ripper in. One-timer from the point.
Ryan Shmyr has just got a misconduct penalty. We'll have to wait and see what that's for.
Well, you know what, Dave? I think he skated by the Sheffield Steelers bench after he scored the goal, and he pointed at him. I think maybe have a look. Here's Shmyr after the goal, and look at, he's coming right by the Sheffield Steelers bench, offering to hold his hand, and that's to me, it's Bush. You don't want to be doing that.
A 2-minute penalty. I can't see it being a 2-minute. I would have thought that's more a personal misconduct, maybe a 10, which of course won't affect Nottingham.
I think the Steelers will take that anyway, but...
So the big question here is whether it'll be a 2-minute misconduct or a 10. It's gone now. And now Shmyr is being kicked out of the game. So Shmyr being told to the dressing room you go. The Nottingham Panthers fans love it. They raise to their hero. Shmyr has just given them a 5-3 advantage.
David, I loved it. It was a great one-timer from a pass from McCaslin.
Well, there you go, Shmyrsy. That's you told, but I think the Panthers fans adored you that night.
Yeah, it was the emotions are high, right? It's a huge rivalry game. It's Challenge Cup. We're in their building. We're trying to come out of there with a lead. Great pass by McCaslin. It worked out perfectly, and I was pretty fired up. And there have been times, throughout my career where when the emotions are high, I don't always do the things that that I probably should be doing, but we were fired up, and yeah, like I say, I thought maybe the Steelers wanted to high five me there for that good shot, but turns out they didn't. So I guess I had to sit down and think about it for a while.
Hell of a goal, though.
It was. It was right in the top corner. I mean, it was one of the better shots I think I ever had in my career. It was just bang right in the corner. I don't think there are any goalies that would have stopped that. It was just out of reach. It was a perfect pass, perfect timing, perfect shot. So it worked out well, and that was part of being fired up, right? The emotions of the game, the emotions of the rivalry, what I would consider a really nice goal. Just has, had me fired up, and the guys around me, and so yeah, things get a little carried away sometimes.
Yeah, it was fun though. I remember it was talked about for years afterwards, and we still talk about it to this day when we reminisce. Just finally, I think people who remember you playing will be intrigued. What are you up to now? What is Ryan Shmyr's life like post hockey?
It's good. I'm married. I've got three little boys. They're 6, 8, and 10 years old. So they keep us busy. We played hockey and baseball and lacrosse and soccer and or football, skiing, all that fun stuff. I'm a general contractor now, and I build custom homes and do things like that. I'm in one of those projects right now. So yeah, that keeps me busy. Yeah, just I've got it pretty good. I've been pretty lucky throughout life. I had a great run, a great opportunity to travel around the world and play hockey, and then I've got a great family now and a great career that I enjoy. So it's been great.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well, Shmyr, you're listening. It's been great catching up with you, and as you say, you've basically taken your time out your day to talk to us. So I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Shmyr.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. It's always good seeing you and hearing your voice, Ellie. We'll talk to you soon.